Welcome to today's class. This being the third topic of this course GST301A. Okay, we will be looking at the title Business and the Business Environment. In our previous session, we talked about what makes people become entrepreneurs, while in our first lecture video, we looked at the concept of entrepreneurship itself, who is an entrepreneur, the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur, among others. But in this lecture video, okay, let me also point out the fact that if you missed any of them, you are advised to go back, go through them, because we'll be leveraging on the first and the second video in this video. Okay, now today we'll be looking at the business and the business environment, as I've said before. Okay, what is a business? And what kind of world or environment does this business operate in? Let's get conversational. Okay? I want you to imagine you've just come up with a brilliant idea. Maybe to start a laundry app which will help your fellow students to do laundry on campus. You know what laundry implies, like you just want to develop an app through which people can make order for you, for your service rather. That's a great idea, but before you launch such app, you need to understand the business side of it and the environment you will be operating in. That's exactly what today's class is all about. It is not all about you starting a business, but understanding the environment where such business will operate. Okay? So we'll be looking at the concept of business, we'll be looking at all of that. So you might be advised to get a pen or to pay attention, download, share, and all that. Okay? What is business really? When we say business, what comes to your mind? Maybe you think of Dangote Group or Jumia or a hairdressing salon or even a small akara seller. Maybe that one very close to your environment. But all of these are correct anyway. But let's look at it in a bit deeper way. A business is more than just buying and selling. It is an organized system that produces and delivers goods and services to satisfy human needs. Mind my words, organized system. And what does the system do? What does the system do? Produces and delivers goods or services. It could as well be services and not goods, and it could as well be goods and not services. And it could be the same. But the essence is to satisfy human needs. While in the exchange of that satisfaction, you get money. Let's use this case study. Imagine Mr. Shooks. He starts a mobile car watching service. On weekends, he watches cars in people's homes and offices using his own tools and water saving methods. What can we call that thing that Chuk is doing? We call it business. He is offering a service. He is satisfying people's needs, and in return, he is earning income. According to Sullivan, okay, and Chevron 2003, a business is any legal organization that aims to earn a profit by providing goods and services. Again, according to Sullivan and Chevron, they see business as any legal organization, mind the word legal, not illegal, that aims to earn profits. And they are not just all out to earn profit, maybe by kidnapping people and collecting profit. No. Not by stealing to collect money. No. But providing services. They want to earn profit by providing services or providing goods. But don't forget, Not all businesses are created for profit. Not all businesses are created for profit. So because of that, we'll be looking at some other concepts of what we even time business. Some businesses are profit making. That is purely they are all out to make profit. An example, look around you. That woman that is selling akara, as she is actually satisfying you, she's also all out to make profit. So any conversation you are having with her, so long it is not yielding profit, you don't get to see her to be active. Another one is MTN Nigeria, Glow, and among others. While we also have non-profit businesses, which one can you think about? Look at the NGOs around you, right? The Red Cross, among others. We also differentiate between, there are also legal businesses. Legal business in the sense that they obey law and benefit society. They obey law and they benefit society. Those ones are registered, for example, registered companies, registered pharmacy, registered manufacturing company. And also we also have illegal, that is unwholesome businesses. These ones, they disobey laws, they harm society. What's an example? Drug peddling, illegal oil bunkering. They are making money though, but they are illegal. Okay? Those are not the type of businesses we are looking at. But we are looking at businesses that are legal, wholesome businesses, not kidnapping people and requesting for ransom, and we call that one business. That's not what we're talking about. Okay? A business is also considered as a legal, recognized organization. Okay? We can also refer to it as enterprise, business enterprise, commercial enterprise, company, firm, professional or trade or whatever. We could give it any name. But the fact is that they are legal. Okay? The fact is that they are satisfying human needs. The fact is that they are not set up to harm human being. Whatever the definition is, it should be known that a business is an undertaking that deals with production and distribution of goods and services that satisfy human needs and wants. So in exchange of that satisfaction you're giving out, you might have profit if you are profit-oriented businesses, or you are non-profit. If you might also be non-profit like the NGO and Red Cross, as we have said. Okay, now let's go very quickly to the second part of the course, which has to do with the basic functions of business. Basic business functions. All businesses, no matter their size, no matter the owner, they must perform four key functions. And I call this PMPF, not MPF. PMPF. Number one, production function. Number two, marketing function. Number three, finance function. Number four, personnel function. They must perform basically four key functions. Number one, production function. Number two, marketing function. Number three, finance function. Number four, personnel function. Now, when we're talking about production function, what does this imply? This is about making the product or preparing the service. Like an akara woman by your side there, she's into production function. I mean, she's doing, her business is performing the production function. Why? She's producing akara and she's getting it sold out. And it could also be services. An example is that Shooks that we used before. Shooks, before Shooks can make money, okay, he must wash people's car himself or offer himself to be hired. Then he will get money in return. The second function is marketing. How do you know that Shook is in existence? Shooks is in existence. Maybe through Instagram, through advertisement of flyers. That means that every business must also perform marketing function. Marketing function in the sense that you don't just say that you are into business and you are in your house. There must be a way, one form of way of you marketing yourself. The next one is finance. You must manage money. How much does it charge? How does he pay himself, or how do you buy soap in the very instance of shoes that we're using? You can't say that you are into business. Like, mind you, we're looking at basic functions every business must perform. Finance function as well. At least you have a bargain. Okay, this is my price in terms of services. If I'm going to do this for you, this is how much I'm going to charge you. Okay. Now for this service, this is how much. For if you want this additional charge, this I mean service, this is what I'm going to charge you. Now, if you want to buy Makara, it is 100 naira per one. At least you are doing what the finance function. The last one is personnel function. A organizer beside you has his boys that are laying under him. That's service. So the same thing applies to somebody that has a shop. Confuse business functions with managerial management functions. Why business functions deal with what a business does. Management function deals with how it is run. Again, why business functions deals with what does your business do. Okay, I'm into this. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do. Management on the other side, management functions on the other side looks at how that business is run. So we also have management function. We have looked at business functions before. Now we are looking at management function. And mind you, I said that in business function, you have four acronyms: P, M, P, F. P implying production, M marketing, P personnel, and F finance. Now for management functions, we have an acronym: POS, DCORB, POS, DCORB. The first P is planning. Now, using Shooks for example, what does Shooks want to achieve? Before you launch into a business, you sit down. What are your 5 targets or 2 targets before launching a business? What are the key things you want to achieve? For example, you want to go 5 cities in 5 years. I want to grow my business to the point that if I start now, in a couple of 6 months, I want to go beyond the campus. I want to have Federal College of Education as my client also. That is planning. That is management functions. Okay, that's the management function. Okay, you plan. The next one is organizing. We are using Shooks constantly. How will Shooks arrange its resources? That is, its tools. If you ask workers, okay, how are you going to set them? How are you going to put them all as apart? Okay, you function here, you function here, you function. That's the reason we said that management function has to do with how your business is run. Okay, the next one is staffing. Who will work for Shooks? How will Shooks recruit them? At what point will Shooks bring them on board? And at what point will Shooks let go of them? Do you understand? Okay, at some point, Shooks must sit down and harmonize all these decisions, make all these decisions. That is one of the management functions. The next one is directing. You have to give instruction. You have to motivate your people, set out instruction, give deadline, receive feedback. All that processes of you directing, they are management functions. They are not business functions. They are purely management functions. The next one is coordinating. How we should make sure that all parts, that is marketing, the watching, the financing, how will they all work together? How would Shooks ensure that it's not wasting money on this person and the person is not delivering? How will Shooks make sure that this person is motivated and not demotivated in his work? How will Shooks make sure that this person is giving out the best of service to his client so that he doesn't lose clients? How will Shooks ensure that this person that is in social branch is doing very well, doing very well? And how will Shooks get feedback? How will Shooks coordinate all of this? Okay, This is a management function. The next one is reporting. That is documenting what is happening. You might prepare weekly reports, monthly reports, or daily reports. How does it get feedback? Feedback within the business, feedback from the client outside. Okay, and it could be observation. How do you get reports? Okay, how do you make documentation? Okay, so so was told, so so number of cars were washed, how much came on board, how much did you get from them? Okay, do we have any equipment that we serviced? Okay, how much did you service the equipment? So if we minus that from you understand, reporting and all of that, they are management functions. Okay, then the next one, being the last one, is budgeting. You need to plan how to spend and how to earn money. Okay, this is one function of the management. This is one of the management functions. Now we want to look at what is environment of business. That takes us to the next one, which is concept of environment. The concept environment literally means surrounding. If I should ask you, oh yeah, you look to your right, you see a video. Oh, this is my environment. Okay, internal or immediate or external objects, influences or something around you under which someone or somebody or something exists. Okay, when you look around you, you look to your right, look to your left, things you're seeing, you want to categorize them as environment, right? Environment within which something exists exhibits certain characteristics which have been identified by Casby. Okay, there is a say that if you stay in a particular environment, you react in one way or the other in connection to a particular threat known to be for that environment. What I mean is this: if you live in a village, there is a way this can typically modify your character. There is a way this can typically modify your actions, your personality. So that means that business and the environment, they relate. Okay, that's the relationship we are trying to look at now. Okay, understanding environment of business. So Shooks, for example, has started his car wash business, but let me ask you, is he doing it in a vacuum? No. He's operating within a system which is called business environment. This environment can help him or hurt him. It is made up of all the factors and forces that affect how his business is run. Let's look at it. Think about your environment, maybe in Uni Abuja, the weather, the lecturers, the school rules, your fellow students even, the strike, the ceremony, maybe so so day, Ekiti day, Anambra day, and all that. They have one way or the other of influencing your business. Okay, that is also the same for all businessmen. Now let's look at characteristics of business environment. Characteristics of business environment. So when we are referring to a business environment, we are referring to internal or external factors within an environment that has direct influence on your business. Okay, now let's look at characteristics of business environment. Number one is stable. Stable condition. Okay, this environment is highly predictable, thus permitting a great deal of standardization or work progress, skills, and output to take place within the organization. When you have a stable environment, we always say it that a particular environment, Nigeria is not conducive for business. Nigeria is making effort to be conducive for business. Why is Nigeria necessary for a business to thrive? Because Nigeria becomes an environment for XYZ business being brought in by a foreigner. They say, oh, what are the working conditions there? What are the business environment there? How is it? Is it hostile and all of that? So when you look at all of that, you get to ask yourself, I don't think it is wise for me now going into business because the environment is not stable. Maybe there is insecurity. This has a way of influencing your business, okay? The next one is that simple environment, simple condition. Simple conditions. These are the conditions that are easy to understand and navigate with few variables. Example, a small bakery with known customers around. You have you are in a very place and people around you, they are people that you know. You say, oh, you are operating a business within your circle. This environment is one where knowledge can be broken down into easily comprehended components. You are operating within your comfort zone. They say, ah, yeah, the place is conducive because he's operating within his environment. Okay. The next one is dynamic. Business environment can be seen to be dynamic if it is always changing. Think about how COVID-19 changed businesses overnight. Okay? That means that it is not static, it is not stable like the first concept. The first characteristic, which stable condition. This is dynamic. It is dynamic and as such changes continuously. This is because of the interactions of the various factors that make up the business environment. Maybe the government legislation keeps changing, or government legislations keep changing. Today, they are pumping dollar out so that they will beat down the price of dollar against naira. Tomorrow, they float naira. Tomorrow, different policies, they are changing the business, the environmental dynamism where the business is operating. So this has a way of affecting the business also. The next one is complexity. Complexity. Many things happening at once. Example, oil industry facing price changes, political unrest, and environmental issues. We are talking about complex business environments now. The business environment is not simple. Direct opposite of simple. It's not simple. It is complex by virtue of the various components that comprise it and the interactions and interrelationships among these factors. We say that there's no way you can be an island of your own. Your business relates with your environment has an influence on your business. So if it is complex, it has direct influence on your business. The next one is multifaceted. The business environment is many-sided. It can be viewed from many angles by the parties involved. Hence, an occurrence that is viewed as strength to you might be weakness to others. Okay? Different people see it differently. One event might help one business, and at the same time, it might not favor the other business. Look around you also. You will see some government legislations favorable to some business sector while demotivating some business sector. The next one is far-reaching impact. The happenings in the business environment can have enormous impact on the organization. It could have ripple effects. This is because the business environment can be conceived as a system, specifically an open system made up of different components that interact and interrelate with one another. Hence, once there is a problem with one, it could have far-reaching impact on the other. By virtue of the above characteristics, it is important for the entrepreneur to monitor the business environment even before you start and after you've started, and even while you are ongoing with your business. It is necessary for you to monitor your business environment. Far-reaching impact. One change can affect many areas. Think about the fuel subsidy removal. It was just an announcement that was made by the president back then. See the ripple effect the thing had on the business environment, the businesses in Nigeria. Subsidy gone. It affected transport, affected food prices, affected delivery companies, even students. Okay, those are the far-reaching impacts of business environment. Okay, let's look at the next one, which is the macro and micro environmental forces. Micro and macro environmental forces. Let's break the business environment into two. The micro. These are close to the business and they can be controlled, at least in the short run. They are very close to your business, to the business environment, and they can be controlled. Examples are the customers, your suppliers, your competitors, or your distributors. The micro environmental forces, they are forces that are very close to your business, and to an extent, they can be controlled or influenced in any way, at least in a short time, in a short run. Example is customers, your suppliers, your competitors, your distributors. Take for example, Shooks must manage his relationship. You managing your relationship with your customer, with your suppliers, with your competitors, even with your distributors. Manage your relationship with them. If he loses a supplier for a particular product, he might disappoint customers. Then he knows how to manage. That is micro. Okay. While macro, on the other hand, is external. Macro on the other side, they refer to external forces. They are far beyond his control, and they are very powerful. They are far beyond his control, and they are very powerful. An example is economic forces. For example, inflation. How can he influence inflation? Another example is exchange rate, the interest rate. They are not within his reach. Okay. Another example is demographic, the age of his clients. It doesn't have anything to do with it. He must just align his business with the dynamism. The income of his customers, the gender, the location, they are independent variable. The business is dependent variable. The next one is political or legal forces. For example, new tax laws, business legislation rules. You don't have control on them. He is binding. His business is binding on this. Okay? The next one is technological forces. Like, for example, the AI. You see how that is causing chaos, so to say, in some businesses that are not evolving. Another one is cultural or social. For example, the trends, what is involved, the lifestyles, the values. Okay? So those things are far beyond his control. So he has no other choice but to align his business with them. They are called micro and macro environmental forces. Let's look at components of business environment. Let's go back and use Shooks again. Remember, we are going to be classifying components of business environment into two. The first one is internal environmental factors. Internal environmental factors. And the second one is external environmental factors. By internal environmental factors, let's use Shooks, for example. The goal and objective of Shooks, they are internal factors. The material is going to be using, the tool, the technology is going to be using, they are internal factors. The quality of his team, they are internal factors. Why? Because he could control them. The products or service is offering, they are internal factors. Okay? Organizational behavior, how people in his business behave, how they do or carry his idea, they are internal factors. The synergy between them, the team playing spirit between them or among them, how parts of his business work together, how this branch works with the other branch, they are internal factor because he has direct control on them. The competence, distinctive competence, what makes him different? Maybe he uses eco-friendly soap, unlike others. Those factors are within his reach. Okay? Those factors, they are factors he could influence. Okay? Size. The type of people he's going to bring on board as management. The type of service he's going to offer. Okay? Organizational capability. How well he uses his resources. These ones are internal factors. We also have intermediate factors. Intermediate factors. These are external but very close. They are external, but they are not external. Mind my word, they are external in quotes, but they are not external. They are external in quotes in the sense that they are intermediate. You can, in a large extent, influence them. Examples are your customers and your suppliers. And we talked about how you relate with them. You might not entirely be able to control it, but you can influence. Another point is support system like the financial institutions. It depends on your relationship with them. It could also affect how you'll be able to get funds and all that. For example, National Directorate of Employment supports entrepreneurs like Shooks with training and small loans. The SME loan can help him expand his business, can even help him develop eco-friendly soap formulas. You understand? They are not within his reach, but they are available for him. Unlike external that are outside him. Okay? Now let's go very quickly to external factors. These ones are uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. They refer to those factors over which the entrepreneur has no control, but they have tremendous impact on the survival of the business. Entrepreneur does not have control on them. And those things, they have tremendous impact on you. Example is technology. How many people do you see around now doing photography? Technology has tremendously reduced their services, especially for those that are not evolving. How many graphic designers do you see? Unlike before. Why? Because AI has taken over. You can just sit down at the back of your house, do a snap of your picture, change your background with just a mobile app, and that before will take some money from your purse. Okay? Technology is an external factor and you cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. Another one is politics. What if government increases tax on cleaning service, on cleaning chemicals rather? What will Shoes do? He has no other choice now. He must go along, align himself. Okay? What if government did that? Okay? Another point is economy. What happens if the fuel price rise? The fuel price rises. What will Shoes do? And he needs to go deliver XYZ product. It don't affect his business. He will have to change his pricing. Okay? You have to change his pricing, and that could push the customer to the close substitute, the alternative rather. Another one is demographics. Are people in his area rich enough to pay for a service? He doesn't have control on that. Nigeria could have happened to those people and they were rich yesterday, but they are no longer rich. Or you see them being more economical, unlike before. Why? Because the country is messing with their purse as well. It doesn't have control on them. Demography. This includes the market, consumer populations. It deals with their proposition in terms of sex. You do not have control on them. Another one is socio-cultural factors. These deal with the people, their norms, their beliefs, their values as they affect your business. Whichever way, a very smart entrepreneurs monitor the environment and adapt. That is where SWOT analysis will come in. When you see your environment, you monitor your environment, then you'll be able to know at what point should I do this? And this that I'm going to do, how should I do it? Okay? That is where SWOT analysis comes in. And that's going to be our next subtopic, SWOT analysis. SWOT as in SWOT. Strength for S. W for weakness. The O, opportunities, and the C is threat. Now, when we are talking about SWOT analysis refers to strategic planning tool that you used to identify, number one, the strength of your business, the weakness of your business, the opportunities of your business, and the threat of your business. The strength of your business in the sense that the internal capabilities that will give you competitive edge or competitive advantage over others. The business weaknesses in the sense that the internal limitations that you have that may possibly hinder your performance, you note them. And the business opportunities in the sense that what are the external factors the company can leverage on or can exploit for growth. And business threats in the sense that what are the external challenges that could jeopardize your success in the business. You sit down, put pen on paper, identify them. So conducting a SWOT analysis is very, very crucial. Now, let's start. In conducting SWOT analysis, you do number one, internal evaluation. Internal evaluation. That is, you assess resources. You ask yourself, what do I have? What don't I have? What have I lost? And what will I lose? What are my capabilities? What are the processes I should take? You should be able to identify areas of excellence and those areas that need improvement. Sit down, put pen on paper. Another point is you analyze is the external evaluation. The first one is internal evaluation that I just mentioned. The next one is external evaluation. You analyze market trends. You don't just dabble into a business without studying the environment. The second part of this course will open us up to the practical aspect, where you'll be told, go for business plan, do feasibility studies, among others. Okay? You analyze the market trends before getting to the market. Analyze your competitors' strategies. Analyze even the regulatory changes. You'll be able to spot potential opportunities and even the potential threats that you may possibly have. Okay? You'll be able to see, these are the ways they are going about theirs. Okay, how can I go about mine to better the performance in the market when I get there eventually? For example, the strength. A strength can be a very strong brand reputation that you've been able to build for yourself. Oh yeah, everybody knows me. Everybody knows my brand. Oh, awesome. How can you leverage on that? That's your strength. And it could be weakness also. Weakness in the sense that I'm not very much online. I'm not online. And your competitors are online. You'll be able to sit down and fact, oh yeah, I'm weak in this area. An opportunity, on the other hand, is turning to e-commerce market. You are coming with this conventional model. It's like there is an opportunity I could explore, and that is e-commerce. The threat, on the other hand, is emerging competitors. Those competitors you are not even looking at now, and you just realize that they are springing up. And they are not just springing up, they are springing up with weights. They have innovative products. They have financial strength. Okay? So you'll be able to sit down, strategize. Okay? Now, what's the strategic application? By understanding your SWOT profile, a company can develop strategies to, number one, leverage on your strengths to capitalize on the opportunities that you have. It will help you to leverage on your strengths. Rather than focusing on your weakness, it helps you to leverage on your strengths. Okay? You'll be able to capitalize on that strength, then pounce on the opportunities to explore them. The next one is that it will also help you to address your weakness so that you can mitigate against the threats that may come your way. In conclusion, understanding the intricate dynamism of your business environment is crucial for strategic planning and sustainable growth, except you do not want to make growth in your business. You sit down, you analyze your business environment before launching your business. Even after launching your business, you keep studying your business environment. By analyzing your internal and external factors through tools like SWOT analysis, as we've looked at, your business can make informed decisions. Then you'll be able to understand that, okay, I need to go online because my competitors, they are thriving online. Then I will know there is a need for me to bring on board as my management a social media manager. Oh, I do not have the money. Okay, that's one of my weakness. Okay, how about me outsourcing it? Because you have been able to identify opportunities. Okay, it is very crucial for you to understand your business environment. Using the tool of SWOT analysis, then you'll be able to adapt to changes, maintain a competitive edge in the business that you are operating. Okay, thank you very much. At this point, I want to stop. In the next video, I'll be looking at forms of business ownership and the legal implication. So kindly share, subscribe, and comment if you have any question. Thank you.